Corey White here with another day in the life of an EHS professional. Today, I'm going to show you how I use AI to automate some of my business tasks. All right, let's get into it. Many of you have heard of ChatGPT. Overall, ChatGPT is a free sort of AI service. It does very basic things. So first off, there's a couple caveats. First off, just know that this can only be done for sort of past things. So for like OSHA standards, EPA standards, and questions like that, it works pretty good because those are all in the past, right? ChatGPT doesn't really look into the future. So just remember that. It's second, just remember that it's not going to always be 100% accurate. I always say it gets you maybe 75% of the way there, depending on what you're looking at, but never take it as fully 100% correct when you're working with clients or working with any sort of regulatory sort of frameworks. Always make sure to kind of double check that, but it takes a lot of that administrative burden of physically typing kind of out of the equation. So I'm going to take you through 3 different scenarios that I would use ChatGPT for. So the first one is drafting a proposal for a potential client. So here I'm going to show you exactly how I would do that. So having a good prompt is everything. So I have prepared one here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say, hey, write me a proposal to create anhydrous ammonia emergency response plan for a hockey arena in Florida. Total cost of the project will be $1,250 for reviewing the local state regulatory requirements and creating the emergency response plan and reviewing, the EPA's annual reporting requirements. So it's really important to have a really good prompt for this. So if I just click send here, you'll see here that it has all the information I need to add for my client. And then it kind of goes through the introduction, the scope of work, and, so on and so forth. What's also nice is you can kind of see that this first iteration is pretty long. What you can also do is say, hey, make this shorter, right? And then they can make a more concise, there we go. You can make a more concise estimate for your client. So I think that's really powerful. And again, it gets you 75% of the way there. I would need to edit this a little bit. Another way that I use it is for drafting training course outlines. So here's another example. Use, write me an outline for OSHA's fall protection training program. And this is for a manufacturing client, so general industry, right? So overall, what they'll do, right, easily create you an outline of exactly what you should be going through. You might want to you're going to want to double check the OSHA's fall protection standard to make sure all the training requirements are in there. But here's where you can create a very detailed sort of course out of this outline. So again, you're taking a lot of that administrative burden off your shoulders. The last piece is, it can summarize sort of different information for you. So, for example, if there's a lot of sort of data on something or a lot of words on something, you can ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you. So an example of this is, let's ask ChatGPT, can you summarize the OSHA standard for me for 1910-1052 methylene chloride? So you can ask them to do that, or ask ChatGPT to do that. Overall, again, you don't want to rely on this for sort of making regulatory decisions for your client. But, at a high level, when you don't know every single OSHA standard out there all the time, right? Like you might be a little fuzzy on something. This is a great way to kind of keep track of okay, methylene chloride, right? There's, you have your PELs, your STELs, you have to do some monitoring, you have to put engineering controls, and you got respiratory protection, et cetera. So you can kind of at a glance get a really good kind of summary of what each OSHA requirement or EPA requirement there is out there for your client. So overall, those are kind of the ways that I use ChatGPT. It's really powerful. And again, I get you about 75% of the way there. So it really takes 75% of your workload off your shoulders, which is really, really nice. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.